All right, y'all. So I am ready to get into chapter 3. I could not wait. I said, let me just continue because I want to know what's going on. All right. So after all this took place, King Ahasuerus honored Haman, son of Hammedatha the Agagite. He promoted him in the rank and gave him a higher position than all the other officials. The entire royal staff at the king's gate bowed down and paid homage to Haman because the king had commanded this to be done for him. But Mordecai would not bow down or pay homage. So we have a new character, Haman. Haman gets promoted. Mordecai said, I ain't bowing down to you, bruh. I'm just not doing it. And let's go ahead and read on and find out. Verse 3 says, the members of the royal staff at the king's gate asked Mordecai, why are you disobeying the king's command? When they had warned him day after day and he still would not listen to them, they told Haman in order to see if Mordecai's actions would be tolerated since he had told them he was a Jew. So I guess because Mordecai was a Jew, he wasn't feeling like, I'm going to bow down to this guy named Haman. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Verse 5 says, when Haman saw that Mordecai was not bowing down or paying him homage, he was filled with rage. He's mad. Why are you not bowing down to me, son? I said bow down to me. You ain't see the king put me at the highest rank. What you doing, cuz? I could imagine that's how Haman was. In verse 6, it says, and when he learned of Mordecai's ethnic identity, it seemed repugnant to Haman to do away with Mordecai alone. So, if Mordecai is Jewish, is Esther Jewish? We're going to find out. He planned to destroy all of Mordecai's people, the Jews, throughout all of Ahasuerus' kingdom. Now we have problems. Because, Esther is the queen now. Mordecai is her only guardian. And we know if Haman destroys Mordecai, that might be a problem for Esther because that's her only guardian left. Her mother and father is gone. Now she's going to lose her other guardian. That would really stink. But let's continue to read and see what's going on. So verses 7 through 15 talk about Haman's decree for the destruction of the Jews. So Haman's serious now. You didn't bow down to me. Not only am I going to destroy you, Mordecai, but all the Jews throughout this kingdom. So in the first month, the month of Nisan, in King Ahasuerus' 12th year, the pur, that is the lot, was cast before Haman for each day in each month, and it fell on the 12th month, the month Adar. Continuing on with verse 8, then Haman informed King Ahasuerus, there is one ethnic group scattered throughout the peoples in every province of your kingdom, keeping themselves separate. Their laws are different from everyone else's, and they do not obey the king's laws. It is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. If the king approves, let an order be drawn up authorizing their destruction, and I will pay 375 tons of silver to the officials for deposit in the royal treasury. So he's like, look, there's a group of people throughout your kingdom. I don't really think they're going to listen to you. I don't really think they're really following the law like they're supposed to. So let's just annihilate them. And I'm going to pay you 375 tons of silver. That's going to go into the royal treasury. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. I put the money down. You kill them. And we good. All right. So chapter 10, verse 10 says, the king removed his signet ring from his finger and gave it to Haman, son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the enemy of the Jewish people. Then the king told Haman, the money and people are given to you to do as you see fit. Lord have mercy. King Ahasuerus don't even know what he's doing at this point. But he gave the people over to Haman. So the royal scribes were summoned on the 13th day of the first month, and the order was written exactly as Haman commanded. It was intended for the royal satraps, the governors of each of the provinces, and the officials of each ethnic group, and written for each province in its own script and to each ethnic group in its own language. It was written in the name of King Ahasuerus and sealed with the royal signet ring. Letters were sent by couriers to each of the royal provinces telling the officials to destroy kill and annihilate all the Jewish people, young and old, women and children, and plunder their possessions on a single day, the 13th day of Adar, the 12th month. A copy of the text issued as law throughout every province was distributed to all the peoples so that they might get ready for that day. The couriers left, spurred on by royal command, and the law was issued in the fortress of Susa. The king and Haman sat down to drink while the city of Susa was in confusion. That's big. All because one man didn't bow down to him. His ego got to him and he said, you know what, bruh? Since you ain't want to bow with me, you ain't want to give me the respect that I felt like I was due, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to wipe your whole nation out. And he got so serious, he went to the king. The king gave him his blessing. And now this message is going to every province. It says in their own level. Look, I don't know about this new character, Haman, but I don't like you. All right? That's the bottom line. But the truth of the matter is, y'all, he's a new character. This story is moving pretty fast. We have a queen who refuses to come when her husband summons her. Now we have a new queen who's appointed, Queen Esther. So we have a couple different characters. We have King Ahasuerus at the top of all of this. We have Queen Vashti. She's removed from her position. We have Esther, who's now taken her position as the queen. Then connected to Esther, we have her cousin but guardian, Mordecai. And now we have a new person introduced, Haman. And now we realize because Mordecai didn't bow to Haman, now Haman has created a decree for the destruction of all the Jews in King Ahasuerus's community, so to speak, to be annihilated and killed, young and old. And though they sat down to drink, the whole city is confused, like, what's going on? What's happening? And this is just the reality, y'all. This is what's going on. So the only thing I can really say about this chapter is I'm gonna go ahead and go into the historical context. All right, so let's take it back with a little bit of history. Haman is identified as the son of Hammedatha the Agagite and as holding a position above the other nobles in the kingdom. According to Jewish tradition, he was a descendant of Agag, who was an enemy of Israel during the reign of King Saul. The Amalekites, a nomadic people living in the southern desert region, frequently raided and killed the Israelites. They were the first nation to go to war with Israel after the Exodus and had long been enemies of the Jews. So much so that Saul lost the kingdom when he disobeyed God's command and failed to destroy the Amalekites. The term Amalekite became a synonym for any enemy of Israel not designated in some other distinct way. So y'all, if y'all want to know about that, y'all better bring y'all tail back to Exodus and read about that so you can find out. All right. So it says 3 verse 7, King Ahasuerus' 12th year would be the 5th year of Esther's queenship. So this is all taking place 5 years after she had already been queen. So that's just a little context to show you how the time is going. It seems like a quick story, but it really is longer based on the times that we're learning about now. So the next part we're going to get into is chapter 4. I really want to see what's going to happen to the Jews and how is Esther going to find out when she gets the news that her cousin or guardian may no longer be. Well, we just have to read chapter 4 to find out.